At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that caring for the community means caring about the climate. You might have heard that we announced a pretty bold 12-month, $2 million campaign to do 4 things. Increase climate literacy, turn up the volume on communities of color in the climate conversation, connect everyday people with the resources they need to survive and thrive, and highlight frontline climate justice crusaders of color throughout this year. KBLA Talk 1580 will be bringing you insightful interviews on all of our shows to help raise your climate IQ. Each quarter this year, we will also be hosting free climate events in various communities throughout the city with food, fun, and forward-thinking conversations. Thanks to partners like LADWP, Metro, Caltrans, the Sierra Club, the California Community Foundation, the California Endowment, AQMD, MWD, and more. You'll also be hearing more about a couple of national town halls broadcasting live from Los Angeles, to which you will be invited. And we'll be rolling out a robust social media campaign on all our platforms, as well as an outdoor media campaign, all designed to educate, enlighten, and empower you in our fight for climate justice.
We want cleaner air.
Caring about the community means caring about the climate. At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that we really can change the world if we care enough. If we care enough. If we care enough. If we care enough. If we care enough.
KBLA Talk 1580. Hello, may I help you, please? Call me now, 800-920-1580. Hello, Super Tuesday. May I take your order? 800-920-1580. Call me now. We're talking about today. It's election day all over America. All over America. Not all over America. 16 states, certainly in California. And I would love to hear from you. Paul Lee says the biggest issue is 2 things: the Electoral College, culture wars, and racism. Lives because 6 out of 10, you know who. Yeah, I mean, I think something's covering up part of what he said. But yeah, I think that's right. It is true. The Electoral College needs to be abolished. It's not representative. It blocks representative democracy, but we're working with what we got now. And it's so weird, as I can't remember who it was, somebody brilliant pointed out, the Electoral College only kicks in for the most important job, which is, well, one of the most important jobs, which is president. The Electoral College isn't deciding senators and, mayors. That's only the presidency. Needs to go away. Goodbye. Need to have statehood for D.C., need to have statehood for Puerto Rico if they want it. Then the calculus of the power in this country would look a lot more like the population. And Republicans who continuously lose the popular vote but end up in office, a la he who shall not be named, the orange man, they wouldn't be able to pull those tricks as much. They could still gerrymander. And by the way, I will add, Paul Lee, Supreme Court reform. We need to give term limits for sure. I know that's a constitutional amendment. There's no reason they need to be in there for more than 12 years. 12 years. And we ought to have a couple more of them on the court. Those are the fix-it tickets for democracy in the United States. Even more than, as Nana Joffe rightly pointed out, getting rid of, the Orange Menace, because he's one person and he's unleashed a movement of exactly what you're talking about: culture wars, and racism, white supremacy, fascism, unapologetic fascism. So yeah, you're right. Those are the fix-it tickets for democracy. But I don't think we say, oh, well, F this. Until we get rid of the Electoral College, I'm not voting. until we end white supremacy, I'm going to sit this one out. I feel like it's really quite the opposite. And I'm not saying you're saying that, by the way, either, Mr. Lee, but I'm just pointing out those are our long-term goals, right? It's short-term, mid-range, and long-term goals. Short-term goals is, get out the vote today. Even if you don't feel like going on KBLA 1580 and listening to the different judicial candidates and figuring it out for yourself. You can go, LA Times has endorsements, go Knock LA has a progressive voter guide, the LAprogressive.com has a voting guide. Of course, Congresswoman Maxine Waters and other lawmakers provide theirs. You can go and mix and match. Yesterday, I went through the whole ballot on this show. I call it Unboxing the Ballot. You can find it on YouTube. You can find it wherever you get your podcast for free. And I'll tell you how I voted, if you care. I'm not saying do as I do. But if you want to, you can. I say do what you like. But do something. Hopefully do what you like isn't watch, Netflix all day and skip voting or, I'm too busy, because you can go to any voting site at this point. You don't have to go to a specific one. But I think that that's right. That's the long term. The short range is get out the vote today. The mid-range goals is, do not elect the 45th president to be the 47th president in November. That's one of the goals for November. There'll be others, but that's one of them. It has to be. Because, if you are looking beyond sort of this ethereal, theoretical anger or ideology, you get into the actual impact of this decision, then we cannot elect. We cannot elect Trump. That's just Trump is a problem for black people, for women, and to David D's point, for kids. So how are we activating these folks? What are we doing to get people fired up? Let's go to JW calling us from South Central. Good morning, JW.
Hey, good morning, Dominique. Well, I would like to expose something that I've been noticing with the commercial. I believe, I'm not certain, but I believe it is Proposition 29. But that part is irrelevant, what it's called. What they're talking about, the first responders do not want, I guess they want to increase the bicycle lanes, correct?
You're talking about Measure HLA?
Okay. Thank you for correcting.
Here's the point. I'm just trying to figure out if that's what you're talking about. It's a LA city Measure HLA that is meant to make things safer. And it will improve bike lanes, but that's not its main purpose. Its main purpose is to make LA safer.
Okay, well, here's my point. This is what they're saying with commercial, and I think people are idiots. First of all, your vehicle laws state that whenever a emergency vehicle, fire department or paramedics or ambulance or whatever is you hear a siren and they're coming down the street behind you or in front of you.
Right.
You're supposed to move to the right, right? That's
yes.
the law. You're supposed to move to the right.
Yes.
And stop. Now, this commercial says it's going to make us harder with traffic. It's bad enough with traffic. But
yeah, but JW, you know you got to take, you got to take all of those commercials with a grain of salt.
Yeah,
not even a grain of salt, like a
That's
whole salt lamp. Like,
that's my point.
yeah.
It's so obvious. How can you say it's going to make it hard for them to go to the right when you always see them go down the street and they go to the left, even if they have to cross
I mean, not only that, you really think that the city of LA is going to allow us to create, new safety traffic measures that don't let emergency vehicles go through? That's just not the truth. That is just what we call untrue.
That's logical.
I mean,
Really? I mean,
yeah.
they think that we're idiots.
Yeah.
I just wanted to get that out there. That's all.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you for pointing that out, JW. I think when we listen to these campaign commercials, even if it's for someone we already think we're going to vote for, we have to listen with our thinking cap on. We have to use our whole head, all the part between our ears, and the uncommon sense that many of us have. And when we figure it out, like JW did, we have to share that with our friends and families, right? Because some people just don't have time, or they got other things on their mind. They're in their grind and they're not thinking the way you would think if someone came to your door and tried to sell you something. The way you would think, hopefully, if someone came in your DMs trying to date you, you would vet the information. You wouldn't just go, oh, yeah, okay, well, I vote against this because first responders, blah, blah, blah. No, you think, wait, that doesn't even make any sense. Say that again. Let's go to Kuahmel calling us from Gardena. Hi, Kuahmel.
It's a party. It's now Super Tuesday. Want to get a little Johnny and Busta Rhymes out for everybody. Oh boy, yeah. JW brought up a nice point about these ads on TV because all of it just it targets the low info people, folks that don't have political education and don't care to get political education. As I was talking about in chat last hour, like these sock puppet black men that love to. Sometimes I'm wondering if they're black men, if they're actually black men, or some just do like some 4chan or something like that.
Right.
They all
some
kind of
bot.
run around like with this anti-democrat speech, like bring up Democrats for like just, and we're just talking like like maybe we're doing our little black dating skirmish or talking hip hop or talking drinks or whatever thing, and like all of a sudden some more anti-democrat thing. So it was like, this is weird. Like, come on, man. What do you do? Trump 2024. And I was saying that it's this constant barrage of misinformation or funny style advocacies. Like it even gets to us as people that are actually actively doing this. You and I and the whole KBLA delegation. So think about somebody that doesn't have political education at all. They're like, oh well, I mean, if they keep ridiculing it, then maybe there must be something to allowing Trump back in. So these are things we really have to be careful with in the ether. Now to those voter guides for a second, I wanted to point out that as I did in the chat, that there's certain areas that they don't make recommendations for. Like you can look at all the voter guides.
Right.
I'm in Gardena. I couldn't find anything for Gardena City Council. So it was kind of like, okay, all you can do is just kind of read what they themselves say, or you have to do some real deep research, reading big time articles, which, okay, I'm in Gardena. I don't think anybody's writing anything.
Well, the other thing is we can do what Jasmine Canick suggested yesterday about the county central committee. I just looked at the Gardena City Council candidates while you were on the phone, and I just Googled one of them, re-elect Mark Henderson, Gardena City Council. And then I kind of scroll down and see what he says about him. He's a community college district. He worked for the community college district. He's a black man. And there's actually some stuff on here. I'm going to have to go. I would have to read a little bit more about it. But he completed the candidate survey. I'm just using him as an example. I don't know anything about the Gardena City Council, but no, he did not complete their candidate connection survey. And it's nonpartisan, so you don't even know if you don't know if they're Democrats or Republicans. That's kind of creepy for a city council.
Well, I'm not necessarily tripping off of that. The party affiliation, because I'm NPP, so much as, okay, what's your ideology? What's your worldview? What are your
right?
goals?
Well, that usually gives us a small hint, but yeah, I see you on that. Well, and then there's always their website. So we're using Dr. Mark E. and that's Henderson. That's not even the
Yes,
same
yes.
guy. Yeah, that's Henderson. Mark Henderson. We're using him as an example. We go to his website, and I'm going to go to endorsements. Oh, look, there's no endorsements. So I'm just
Yeah.
kind of sharing, I guess, the process that I would share. He was a member of the Rent Mediation Board of Gardena, Planning and Environmental Quality Commission. He was acting mayor. These aren't giving me a solid PV Jobs Board president. City of Gardena Youth Sports Activities. Yeah, he doesn't really, this website doesn't really give me a sense. Okay, here we go. He's endorsed by Maxine Waters, Holly Mitchell, Ben Allen, Isaac Bryan, Mike Gibson. That's going to help me because you've got Waters and Bryan agreeing on something. Those are both progressives who have different outlooks, right? Mayor Rex Richardson has endorsed him.
Okay.
That's interesting. And the LA County Democratic Party, the Muslim Democratic Club, and the New Frontier Dem Club. So now Mr. Henderson is looking kind of good. Like, that's just.
And what is the site again? What is the site again that you said? Something about County Central Committee. What is that site again?
Oh, well, I went to the cityofgardena.org. That's where they have all the candidates listed. And from there, I just put his name in a Google search and clicked all around on what I saw.
Gotcha. Now, like when I get off, I wanted to again get that site that you said Jasmine Caddick talked about. Maybe I can share it on YouTube. It's okay. But real quick.
Yeah. That's the LACDP, LA County Democratic Party. LA County Democratic Party, LACDP.
Okay.
.org. I think it's .org.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Well, since I'm not a registered Democrat, obviously, I guess I shouldn't really have a.
Well, you can still go on their website. You can also go on. I go on the Republicans' website too. I like to see what they're talking about.
Now, real quick. Speaking of which, on the mail-in ballot, which I turned in yesterday, they didn't give an option for a presidential candidate on it, and said that you have to basically ask them for it.
Were you? How were you registered?
And again, NPP, which because of NPP.
Oh, no party preference. I got you. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can write in.
Like,
you can't. If there's no space for you to write in under no party preference.
No, there was not. And
Oh,
that was very surprising.
Okay,
Yeah,
I didn't
but,
know
yeah.
that. That's crazy.
Yeah. So I guess that's not allowed until the general election, apparently.
Well,
it seems like it's
how would you request it? I'm sure you must be able to request. You could request it, but then you'd have to be filling out a provisional ballot. You know what? I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah, it basically just says you must notify our office. I'm like, okay, what does that mean? Re-register or something like that? Or that you have to go to the polls like a lot of people were. I mean, I saw the polls were open yesterday over here.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they said a closed primary. It's a closed primary if you're green, if you're Republican, which I get it with the Republicans, that's what they do, or the Green Party, which was strange because I'm thinking, wouldn't you want more exposure to what you're trying to do as the Green Party? If you're trying to grow the party, wouldn't you kind of want more open exposure?
If you want to vote for president, this is from the Secretary of State. If you want to vote for president, you have to request a ballot with presidential candidates from one of the following parties. So you would have had to request it when you registered, I guess, to either get a Democratic Party ballot, Libertarian, or American Independent. So, good to know. All right, Kuahmel, if you want to keep talking, I'd love to keep talking with you. Other than that, you can do what Kuahmel did, 800-920-1580, or KBLA Talk 1580.
Say the quiet part out loud. KBLA Talk 1580.
We, the people, need change. I am Michelle Chambers, and I am running for state senate to deliver the change we need. More housing, higher wages for workers, fully funded public schools, and mental health services. Planned Parenthood, nurses, classroom teachers, and Democrats, labor unions all agree. Visit MichelleForCalifornia.com to learn more. For real change, vote Michelle Chambers by March 5th. Ad paid for by Chambers for Senate 2024.
Tax Talk with Straight Talk. You give and you give. This tax season, you get with Straight Talk Wireless. You get a reliable 5G network and unlimited data and a Samsung Galaxy A14 included when you buy an extended Silver Unlimited plan. So you can give your janky phone to your kid. Yeah!
Switch to Straight Talk for plans starting as low as $25 a line per month for 4 lines. Find us at straighttalk.com. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com. Device offer ends 4/14/24. Online only. Family plan discount with 4 lines, all on the Silver Unlimited plan. Taxes and fees apply.
Meet Cheryl.
Hey.
She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's gotta be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
This is Los Angeles County Supervisor Holly Mitchell, and today I'd like to talk to you about a leader who stands out in the race for Los Angeles Unified School District Board District 1, Charlotte Kendi Newbill. Charlotte's dedication to our schools isn't just professional. It's personal. As a lifelong educator and a mother, she knows the stakes. With her at the helm, we can look forward to reduced class sizes, safer schools, and innovative programs that truly meet the needs of all our students. Charlotte Kendi Newbill has the experience. Please join me in supporting Charlotte. Let's make sure our children's education is in the hands of someone who truly cares. Vote Charlotte Kendi Newbill for LAUSD Board District 1. Our kids deserve the best.
Paid for by helping empowered individuals reach Success Political Action Committee. This advertisement was not authorized or paid for by a candidate for this office or a committee controlled by a candidate for this office.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
I spray and scrub, but the soap scum in my bathtub is still there.
I spray and scrub, but the burnt sauce on my stovetop sticks around.
Sprays can leave grime behind, but new Mr. Clean Ultra Foamy Magic Eraser combines the scrubbing power of an eraser with the cleaning power of Dawn to melt away tough messes on contact.
Just wet, squeeze, and erase.
Stop spraying, start erasing, and clean with more magic than ever with new Ultra Foamy Magic Eraser.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yeah, I saw that that apparently Instagram and Facebook are down in a lot of places. Mine is still working, but apparently it's a huge worldwide outage on Super Tuesday, and it comes as Facebook is trying to back away from the news business, even though they're in the news business. Another conversation for another day. Kuahmel from Gardena, you already voted, and I was reading more about that no party preference that you brought up. So if you're no party preference, you can still vote for president. Too late for you because you already turned yours in. But if you go to your polling place, you can request that they swap out your ballot for in the American Independent, Democratic, or Libertarian. When you go to the polling place, you can ask that they swap it out. I guess you'll get a provisional ballot. You'll fill it out, and then you'll probably end up writing in your candidate if you're not going to vote, Republican, Democratic, or American Independent. So I guess they make it harder. If you want to be no party preference, you're going to have to jump through hoops if you want to vote for president.
I mean, it kind of is what it is because, all this Trump inevitability business really doesn't sit well with me. On top of that, just, speaking of media that's running around, it had been sad to not see any Barbara Lee ads, milling about in this market. They just weren't on.
Yeah, they don't have the money.
Whereas, I guess not, because otherwise it was just Adam Schiff or stuff about Katie Porter all the time.
And Steve Garvey. There was a $10 million buy by the Schiff campaign for that basically promotes Garvey. So, yeah, it's
and it's crazy too because I feel like Schiff kind of basically gave him free advertising to put him on the. And put him at the top of the poll.
He did because he knows he can beat him. I mean, it's actually David D says it's a sucker move, but it is smart. It's smart if it works.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, but it's sad because to find out about the leads of the world. Again, you pretty much have to be pursuing a worldview politically, and you have to have your political education together. So either everybody's got to be direct to folks here. Or Tom Hartman or somebody to get them to understand, look, okay, these things actually do have stakes. Play the Yellow Pain record ad nauseum. Okay, I get it. I'll do the right thing. I even feel guilty putting progressive voter guides in people's hands because I don't want to tell people to be a progressive, but I'm saying, look.
I do.
Just get your education together.
Be a progressive because what is wrong with promoting progress? Do you want to be backwards? I know you people need to think for themselves. I get what you're saying. You don't want people to be zombies.
That's my thing.
I mean, what is the opposite of woke? It's a zombie, and that's what they want. And I get that. Yes, think for yourself. But if you start with understanding the concept of progressive and what it is we are fighting for and working for, then it's not a stretch.
But one last thing I will say, and I thank you for your time, is to really think about what it means to be progressive or to be conservative, because to be conservative doesn't necessarily mean you're a massive warmonger or a corporatist or you just hop in bed with white supremacy.
It doesn't have to. It doesn't have to, but let's talk about what's actually happening right now at this moment in history.
Indeed, and to be progressive doesn't mean you're necessarily, or even liberal, doesn't necessarily mean you're hippy dippy or dyeing your hair crazy colors or anything like that. It means you're looking towards, okay, what moves us forward, and being able to experience to understand everything and everyone around you instead of just knee jerk, bashing groups you don't like or any other thing that's going against what probably are your best interests. So that's the one to grow on today. And,
all right, Kuahmel. You know what time it is. News, traffic, and sports. Kuahmel called 800-920-1580. You can do the same. It's Super Tuesday all day. Polls are open right now, and you're listening to KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
I'm Mike Moore. Here's the latest from the Black Information Network. An effort to charge Colorado women with a crime if they get an abortion isn't going anywhere. It was voted down in a House committee right after being introduced yesterday. The Republican-sponsored bill aimed to classify an embryo or fetus as a person. It was nearly identical to the one that also failed last year. A school in eastern Washington state is coming under fire for encouraging students to dress up as African-American slaves. The Spokesman Review reports Wilson Elementary School in Spokane made the suggestion Friday in a flyer highlighting an upcoming jazz music performance. The flyer invites families to, quote, take a trip from today way back to the times of slavery in America, and goes on to suggest that students dress up as slaves and hobos for the concert. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Moore from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
Robert Half research indicates 9 out of 10 hiring managers are having difficulty hiring. Robert Half is here to help. Their recruiting professionals use proprietary AI to connect businesses with highly skilled talent. At Robert Half, they know talent. Visit roberthalf.com today.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Impressive game for the Lakers Monday night against Oklahoma City. They beat OKC by 12. The Lakers were hot from three-point range. They made 18 to 25. D'Angelo Russell led the Lakers with 26 points. He had 5 of the Lakers' 18 threes. The Lakers are 10-4 in their last 14 games. They're 1 game behind Dallas for the 8th and final playoff spot in the Western Conference. Frustrating loss for the Clippers last night in Milwaukee. They lost by 7. Milwaukee played without 2 starters because of injuries. All-star Giannis Antetokounmpo and Chris Middleton. Damian Lillard stepped up with a game-high 41. Bobby Portis had 28 off the bench. Clippers guard Russell Westbrook has surgery Monday on his fractured left hand. The Clippers medical staff is hopeful that Westbrook will be back in April before the start of the Western Conference playoffs. And no debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
Do you support public education? More than 38,000 educators at United Teachers Los Angeles do too. Together, we have fought for a better public education for our students and communities, and having you on our side has been essential in our fight for better public schools. Together, we will continue to work for public schools with green spaces, more mental health staff, smaller class sizes at every grade level, and a higher investment in the Black Student Achievement Plan. We are UTLA, and you make us stronger.
Hello, my name is Rhonda Dixon. I'm running for Los Angeles County Superior Court Judge, Seat 39. I believe in the power of restorative justice, alternative sentencing, and equal access to justice. I was born and raised in South Los Angeles. Vote March 5th, 2024 for Rhonda Dixon, Seat 39. To find out more about me, go to www.rhondadixonforjudge.com. That's RONDADIXON, 4 judge.com. Paid for by Rhonda Dixon for Judge.
Substance use disorder and addiction is so isolating. And so, as a Black woman in recovery, hope must be loud. It grows louder when you ask for help and you're vulnerable. It is the thread that lets you know that no matter what happens, you will be okay.
When we learn the power of hope, recovery is possible. Find out how at startwithhope.com. Brought to you by the National Council for Mental Wellbeing, Shatterproof, and the Ad Council.
Have you fallen behind on your water and power bill? LADWP has made paying your past due bills even easier. Sign up anytime online for Level Pay to get set monthly bills that include past due amounts. Or check out the special extended payment arrangements of up to 48 months to help pay down your bill. Visit ladwp.com/cares and sign up today. That's ladwp.com/cares. Are you ready to ignite your potential? Special Needs Network presents the CORE Workforce Development Grant, an opportunity designed just for you. You've been there for everyone else. Now it's time to be there for yourself. Whether you're a college student or a working professional, the CORE program is here to empower you on your journey. Get paid with free specialized diversity training, mentorship, and stipend to fuel your passion, power, and purpose in the behavioral health sciences. It's time to focus on your dreams while making a difference in your community. Don't wait. Visit snnla.org/core program to apply today. Be the spark that ignites connections. Your future is waiting. Again, that's snnla.org/core program.
This is KBLA Talk 1580, where hate loses and love wins.
It is, and it's Super Tuesday, right? Get out the vote is the number one mission. I understand that we're not all going to agree on everything. Sometimes we don't agree on anything. That's okay, but let's try to get out and at least make our voices heard today. Robust conversation going on in the chat. I don't know why y'all don't want to bring it on well, maybe you're at work. I don't know. 800-920-1580 about whether or not Black people are going Republican, whether or not it's overly hyped, whether or not, we've got somebody in the chat saying, I think it's ad saying, he's going to go ahead and vote Republican. Molly Bell, as usual, in there as a warrior, not just for the Democratic Party, but for her candidate, Joe Biden. And I get that because we are pragmatic. My own brother, Raz Baraka, is the mayor of Newark, New Jersey. Many people, including Molly Bell, straight out of Compton, really tried to helped him get that position from here in LA. He's now announced he's going to run for governor, which is a huge deal, right? And of course, I'll be campaigning for Raz Baraka. That's upcoming. But the reason I bring it up is because my brother ran many times and lost. And then he decided to run and he won. And so we can say that this process is not for us. It doesn't include us. We can't win. But the point is, you got to play to win, and not everybody's going to want to be a governor or a council person or a central committee member. But all of these, what we call down ballots, they all make a difference. They do impact our day-to-day lives. Let's go to Deborah calling us from LA. Good morning, Deborah. Happy Super Tuesday.
Good morning, Dominique. How you doing?
I'm blessed. How are you?
Good. I'm kind of rehashing the candidates for the district attorney's office. That's where I'm stuck at. And I've found different websites, but I've kind of gone down the line, and all of them except for one are against Gascon, and they pretty much say that he's not tough on crime, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm just kind of, I didn't get your take on that particular.
Yeah, well, okay, Deborah, I'm glad you're being so thoughtful the way you're doing your ballot. That's amazing. Instead of just going yes, 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 no, I don't know, skip that. Well, the DA, the incumbent George Gascon, was elected in 2020 when a lot of us were marching, right? We were really focused on reform and getting rid of anti-blackness in our system. And we asked him to do certain things like stop using the death penalty, which had been used under the previous administration exclusively against Black and Latino people. No white people were sent to death row, for example. We asked to stop prosecuting kids as adults. We asked to stop using, excessive gang enhancements that lead to these super long sentences, which are adding on to mass incarceration. The folks that were already in that office doing things the way they'd been doing it for a long time were angry. They lost. They immediately started suing him. They refused to follow his orders. Now, is DA Gascon perfect? No. But when you look at people saying he's soft on crime, they're the same people that didn't want to elect him in the first place.
Okay.
It's not that he got in and then they were suddenly like, oh, this guy's terrible. They were campaigning against him in the first place. They tried to recall him. They represent the way the justice system used to be.
Right.
And if we look at, and I know everyone's emotional right now, but I have to go back to facts. If we look at the facts, homicides are down. Violent crimes are down. What's up? Retail crime. People stealing purses out of stores. Okay, I got that. We don't like that. I get that. But if you're talking about actually being safe, like somebody murdering you, raping you, or assaulting you, it's down. So soft on crime is, to me, that's campaign rhetoric. So yeah, I voted for Gascon, and and I'd do it again. By the way, many of the people running against him work for him. They don't like what he represents. They want to go back to the way things were, and so they're running against him. There are a couple that, like this guy Hochman, who was a U.S. attorney. He was a Republican running for attorney general. Now he switched to Democrat and he's running for district attorney. There's a couple of other options. Some people like Chemerinsky because he is not all the way undoing what we have done by electing a progressive prosecutor, but he's still trying to reverse some of the things that Gascon has done. But again, I'm going to go back to the fact that we, the voters, asked for that. That's what we voted for. A care first model, right? Where we're just we're moving away from 3 strikes because it doesn't work.
Right.
Not because we want to coddle criminals like I heard a commercial say, but because it doesn't actually keep us safer. Otherwise, we would have been really safe in the 90s.
Right. And Dominique, I was actually on a case. It was an egregious case where a 3-year-old was killed in the melee. There were these guys that one recognized the other as being a rival gang member. And I saw this play out with the gang enhancements. The prosecutor tried to throw that in the case and add that onto their sentencing.
And one of the reasons they do that is because it helps their careers.
Mm-hmm.
Not because it's going to make us safer, but because it helps their careers. They look tough on crime.
Right. And then this clearly had nothing to do with them trying to promote their gangs or whatever. And I was so glad that one of our jurors, he kind of was able to highlight that. But the first thing that's done, what I've noticed, because I've been on jury duty for a lot of years, but now, lately, the first thing they do is go to your social media.
Yeah.
They went to these guys'
wow.
social media and they dig through there.
Wow.
So these young folks need to get it together because they're coming at you. They specifically have a sheriff in place that deals with that aspect of the case. So they go to, like, I would guess they would go to Facebook or whoever your social media provider is. They get the subpoenas and all, and they dig in there.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, I may never get selected for a jury at that rate because I'd be posting stuff. But I want to applaud you, Deb, for sitting on jury duty. A lot of folks, try to avoid it. But we'll forever have all white juries if we don't sit on juries.
Yeah. The last case was kind of scary. It was because you have the folks, family and friends there. You got them mad dogging you, and it's kind of a lot.
Wow, that is scary. Well, I commend you. And again, if you want to, at KBLA1580.com, there are actually interviews with almost every one of the district attorney candidates, including Gascon. So, and I ask all of them, questions that you probably want to hear the answer to. So if you're not sure, you can go to KBLA1580.com. It's right there on the landing page, and you can actually listen to what they have to say. Or if you're like thinking, I might vote for this guy, but I might vote for this guy, you can hear those two persons and compare them.
Thank you so much. I've been following you since, Street Science?
Oh, way back.
Way back in the day.
Back, yeah. Way back to the Machiavelli days.
Thank you for informing the community so much.
All right, Deb, I appreciate you. I appreciate the call as well. This is special. I have another Deb. This one's from Compton, though. The Debs are in the house. Good morning, Deb, straight out of Compton.
Good morning, Dominique. How are you this morning?
I'm blessed. I'm fired up. How are you?
I'm fired up. I'm tingling. I'm excited. I'm interested to see how the rest of the states are going to move. And it's a good day. It's a good day. I know they're saying the projections are it's going to be a low turnout, but I think people are going to stun them and shock them. I think we're more interested than they think.
I hope you're right. I think so, too, and I hope we're right. But also, to put an LA spin on it, the sun is out. It's not raining. That's good news because we don't play in the rain. We don't like it. Sorry. I know that's superficial.
Absolutely.
Our ancestors, risked being lynched, but we won't go out in the rain. But hey, it's sunny, so vote.
Exactly. I just wanted to say real quick, when it comes to the word progressive and reparations, I am so tired of politicians and media treating those words like they're four-letter words, like it's blasphemy to say reparations or progressive. You know what progressive is? It's growth. It's growth. We're supposed to grow. Who said we had to be stagnant or go backwards? Who said that? And who wants to live like that? We're in a situation now where we must progress. We have to grow. We have to get out of this mess that we're in. So why treat those words like it's going to kill the entire nation or the entire world if reparations is talked about and it actually moves forward and grows and produces something better? I just, that's all I got to say.
Well, I appreciate the conversation. I think I hope your spirit is infectious to people and that we move on out and vote. Even if you don't want to vote for everybody, vote for somebody or something, because there's something in there that's worth your time.
Exactly. Thank you, Dominique. You have a wonderful day. We'll talk next week after we have the results.
Yeah, we're going to unpack all this stuff. That's right. We're talking Super Tuesday things. 800-920-1580. Love to hear your thoughts on this and other items on KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Canick, and I'm on your March 5th primary ballot running to represent you on the County Central Committee. I know you just said the County Central what? The County Central Committee. It's an intentionally confusing way to say LA County Democratic Party, but it's the perfect way if you want to keep the status quo. County Central Committee members or delegates set the tone, policy, and vision of your Democratic Party. Far too often, voters skip over this section, and that's why the Democratic Party has fallen out of touch with today's Democrat. Let's change that on Election Day by electing me, Jasmine Cannon. I'm a community advocate, a journalist, and a political activist who has worked at all levels of government. I live in reality, and I understand that we can't keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. I believe the Democratic Party can do more and do better. It's our future, our party. Let's make it better together. You can find out more about me at voteforjasmine.com.
Los Angeles County needs a new district attorney.
I'm Jeff Chemerinsky, and I'm running for district attorney. I have served as chief of the Violent and Organized Crime section of the Los Angeles United States Attorney's Office. I've never lost a case. I have experience managing large teams of lawyers and staff, and I've done it in the largest federal judicial district in the nation. I've been endorsed by civil rights attorney Connie Rice, by former LA County Supervisor Yvonne Braithwaite Burke, and by the New Frontier Democratic Club, the oldest and largest African-American Democratic club in California. I'm a lifelong Democrat. As your next district attorney, I'll do everything I can to make our community safer and reform our justice system for every community in Los Angeles.
Jeff Chemerinsky, Democrat for district attorney, endorsed by the leaders we trust. Our community can trust Jeff Chemerinsky to stand up for us. Vote by March 5th. Paid for by Jeff Chemerinsky for District Attorney 2024.
LADWP is proud to partner with KBLA to share with you how to start the new year without bill worries. We're here to help if you're behind on your bill or need help staying current. Sign up anytime online for Level Pay to set predictable monthly payments throughout the year, including for past due amounts. You can also check out the special extended pay arrangements of up to 48 months to help pay down your bill. If you're a senior or income qualified, you may be eligible for Easy Save to receive discounts and also qualify for free and discounted energy and water saving devices. You can get up to $15,000 for past due water and or sewer bills and up to $3,000 for electric bills. But you gotta act fast. Funding is limited. You can reduce your past due bills and kick off the year right, because here at LADWP, we're here to help. Visit ladwp.com/cares today and find out more.
Hi there, I'm Steve Dunwitty, a progressive veteran, educator, and candidate for Congressional District 30, which is Adam Schiff's open seat covering the Hollywood area, Burbank, and Glendale. I'm reminding you to vote in our March 5th primary for me, Steve Dunwitty, to represent us in Washington, D.C. As the only black candidate in the race, I'll go to work for our community, to get funding for affordable housing and support to help get the homeless off the streets, to bring the cost of living for food and things we need down, and to ensure there's public safety and accountability. I'll also keep up the call for reparations. Once again, this is Steve Dunwitty reminding you to cast your ballot by March 5th. Please go to www.stevedunwittyforcongress.com. This ad was paid for by Steve Dunwitty for Congress.
The conversation continues right now with Dominique DiPrima on First Things First.
Happy Election Day. It would be nice if it was a holiday, but it's not. But, the polls are open from 7 in the morning until 8 o'clock at night, so you can get it done. You can still drop your mail-in ballot at any county drop box. They're everywhere. They're out in front of libraries. There's one right in front of Lamert Park. They're around. If you're in California, if you're in other states, you might have to try a little harder. And you can register today. On Election Day, you can walk up and register. Do not disqualify yourself. You can register to vote anytime. Let's go to Mykael. I want to try to get to these calls before we run out of time. I can't emphasize enough. Vote, 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 vote. Even if you don't know everything, even if you don't want to vote on everything, vote what you feel like voting on. Do what you like. Hi, Mykael.
Shalom, shalom. I'm Mykael, the Hebrew Israelite. I was calling in to, you was talking about voting. I want to say this. In 2012, on the proposition, they had a proposition here in California about gay marriages. And the people was going to vote for it or against it. And the state of California voted against it. And what I'm saying is, and Barack Obama, he vetoed it. So I'm saying, what's the use of voting if the president can turn around and legalize something that the people are against?
That's not quite exactly how that happened, but okay. But yeah, I mean, a lot of times, Mykael, what happens is something can go before the voters and they'll reject it, and then it comes back to the voters again, and the next time they pass it. People change, and propositions change. It might be tweaked a little bit one way or another. So I don't think that's a good... A president can't come in and veto a local measure, but what can happen is it can get put in front of the people again, or Congress can pass a law, right? Just like right now, marijuana is going state to state to state. Cannabis, it's legal some places, it's not legal other places. Federally, it's illegal. If the U.S. Congress passes a bill to decriminalize or legalize recreational cannabis nationwide, it would override bans in some states. That's not a veto of a California law or a veto of a law, I don't know, a Wisconsin law where it's not legal. It is now becoming the law of the land. So it doesn't mean you don't vote. It just means that there's local, county, federal, and state levels of government, and all of them require engagement. Mykael, you there?
Go look it up. Yeah, I'm right here. Yeah, the people voted against it, you know.
In California, yeah, and then it became the law of the land federally.
So what's the use of voting?
The use of voting is if, you can vote for those representatives in Congress that agree with you, and then it wouldn't have become the law of the land, I guess.
I've been to Jackie Lacey. I've been to Holly Mitchell for help and assistance. They didn't help me. They didn't care. I went to George Gascon, and he came through. So what can you do? These representatives.
Well, you might want to vote for him, for starters.
I don't know who to vote for.
Okay, well, there's one. You said he helped you. Boom. Direct. That's your direct experience. And we voted him in when we voted out Jackie Lacey. Now, what you're talking about is the push and pull between local government, state government, and federal government, and that's part of our system.
Well, the president ain't going to help us because they've been talking reparations for, 30 years? And
presidents haven't been talking reparations. Congress people have. John Conyers has. Dick Gregory has. I have. You have. In fact, we're doing it every Friday here because, to Deb's point, we're normalizing the conversation. We don't care how many times they say it's wacky or fringe. But as far as right now, this second, coming into the mainstream, the reparations conversation has only been in the mainstream of American discourse for a couple of years, a few years at most.
More than that, please.
In the mainstream? No, I don't agree with that. Yeah, go ahead, Mykael.
Okay. In the 1800s, Charles Patterson invented the car. He was a black slave. He invented the first car. He couldn't patent it, so they took it from him, and we don't have no credibility for our invention. We invented the airplane. Lewis Lattimore invented electricity, and we don't have no payback. We did work for 250 years for free. All our black Wall Streets were burned up. All this stuff done to us 400 years, and I don't know what to say. Now they're letting all these illegal immigrants in, giving them money, $1,000 a month.
Nobody gets $1,000 a month for being an illegal immigrant. That's propaganda, but... To your point, that's just not the truth. They're not getting $1,000 a month. I don't know where you got that from, but are immigrants coming? Yes, they are. Are they getting $1,000 a month? No, they're not. But to your point about our wealth, I mean, that's why I think we go back to reparations, right? That's what reparations meant to address. Exactly what you're talking about. Will it compensate for everything that's been stolen? Probably not.
We want our own businesses. We want our own airline, our own gas stations, our own grocery stores. We want our own. That's best for us.
Okay, well, there's a black-owned gas station in Compton. Can't remember the name of it. But if it's that serious, let's go to the ones. I don't have it right in front of me, but I can find it for you if you want to stay on hold. Thank you for calling, Mykael. We're going to get to Wacky. Is that really Wacky? That's what you're going by? Good morning.
Oh, wait a minute. I got Dominique. I'm Wacky for sure. Is this you know you my favorite? I disagree with you a lot. We do what we do. You cut me off all of the time, right?
Oh, you haven't called in a long time, huh?
It's been a minute.
You haven't called since Fred Page, right?
Well, no, I called you on here.
Oh, okay.
You were with I forget her name. I love she has the ghetto names on the back end of her.
Okay. Well, look, I am very happy that you're listening, still listening, and I don't mind being the lady you love to disagree with. I have no problem with that whatsoever. As far as being cut off, there's a secret for that. Call earlier when we're not almost out of time on the show.
Oh, I know at the end now. I called before, and I was right at the beginning. Like I said, I was with, I forget her name, but her name is, you know, the sister you have on this sometime on Fridays.
Oh, yeah, Sherry Bell.
Or something. That's Sherry Bell.
Yep. Well, she'll be back not this week, but next week. I appreciate the call. I hope you'll go out and vote, and thank you for sticking with me, even though you don't agree with me on much. That's okay. Agree to disagree. That means we're in conversation.
Oh, absolutely. I'll reach out to you. You know what I'm saying? I can't. All I'm saying is this here. I do go against a lot of the propaganda of the Democrats being our people.
Okay. Well, call me tomorrow. We'll talk about it. Hopefully, I don't know if I should encourage you to vote, given I'm just kidding. Go vote. Look, I'm feeling Jesse Jackson, maybe because he ran for president before it was fashionable. So I'm leaving you with his quote today. He says, "If you run, you might lose, but if you don't run, you're guaranteed to lose." And that's how I feel about voting. If you vote, you might lose, but if you don't vote, you're guaranteed to lose. Tavis Smiley is up next. He's got a very informative Super Tuesday show on tap for you. I'm Dominique DiPrima. History is now, and we are making it together. Until tomorrow, one love.